If you're looking for professional day trading education, high-level trade analysis and dissection, you have come to the right place. My name is Pat Mitchell. I have been a professional day trader for the past 11 years, and I'm here to bring you exactly that high-level professional day trading education, all here for free on YouTube and on X. And tonight we are going to be discussing 3 separate trades that I took here today and the countless clean opportunities that this market is providing. So give me one sec. I hope you guys all had a wonderful day. I am going to fire up these charts. Let's rock and roll. Okay, guys. So we're going to take this trade by trade. And on Qs was really interesting at this mid level. So we were working with 3 levels. And if you're just joining us, and I know this gets repetitive for those that have seen these trade recaps before and trade analysis and dissections, but these blue levels are placed prior to the market open. Every day at 9 a.m., I place these levels and develop trade plans that surrounds these levels. And what we had on Qs was a mid-range level, but it was actually an extremely strong level. So if I stretch this blue daily chart out and show you, this level is the previous open, previous close highs, previous close highs. There is a flat top of volume there. There's a lot of protection. There's a lot of support. So even though there wasn't a lot of distance in this trade at the open, it just kind of stayed and it hovered for a little bit, even popped, came down, held just for a second, and then it finally dipped down into that level. As it comes down into that level, execute, pay myself, and it came all the way up, but not looking for a huge trade in this. Because it's the first trade, it is about feeling the market out, what it wants to do. Because in a lot of these times, even though it is a super valid level, when it bounces, it'll hit that first level of resistance and it can do one of 2 things, right? Either it continues to blast up and then it'll present the short opportunity for us, or it's going to reject that and come down and give us the long opportunity. So that's why I'm never worried about missing a trade. There's so many opportunities if you're just patient and let these fucking things set up instead of constantly being in a rush to execute. So a lot of people, what happens, and it's a big issue with new and struggling traders, is let's say they execute, they pay themselves, and they'll look at this and they'll be like, "Oh man, I missed all of that." And then instead of focusing on the next opportunity that comes, that always comes, they focus on the trade that they missed, and they will miss this. And then the frustration just snowballs and goes exponential from there. And then you end up chasing and doing something stupid. It happens all the time. And if people can learn some patience and discipline and self-control to be patient, their results would start coming. It would come in. You would start having consistency. Absolutely. So that was the first trade. I locked in $475 on that. So now the second trade, like I said, was the short. So the short on this, like I said, I'm going to wait for it to now set up. And I'm working just this first test. So enter into as it comes up, right? I enter, I pay myself. I'm still holding some. No reason to continue adding into this, although I could have. I was working SPY. SPY is what I was mainly focused on. So I put more effort and energy into SPY, into that same trade. So that's why you're not seeing any ads here where you would normally see an ad out of my trade entries. And then once it washes, I'm simply paying myself. And that's it. Not worried about this trade. Once it came into this level here, that mid-range level again, I got out for the same reason as I said that I didn't execute or add into this, because I was focused up on SPY, and we'll go over that here in a second. But on this trade, I locked in $1,965 on that. Now let's go to the SPY trade. So the SPY trade was, the trade plan was to start here, add here. and then you accept the outcome. Either we get stopped out when it wants to confirm properly over these highs, or you simply lock in all the way down. So SPY was the one I really wanted. And the reason for that is if you take a look at the daily chart. So now I'm looking at the bottom left-hand blue chart on Qs. All-time highs is a high of day, but it also has a trend level that it could magnet into. Okay. So it's a valid resistance level, but SPY is much more valid. And the reason for that is not only do we have at this first level yesterday's highs, but it is then followed by all-time highs, previous all-time highs, as well as pre-market highs. There's so many levels of protection there. So I'm going to put my money where the better setup is, which is right there. So as it comes up into that first level, I execute. You'll see a secondary add, and you'll see a fat finger sell. That's where I wanted to add. So I kind of fucked that up. That's why you see a sell. So I immediately was red in this position, but I doesn't matter because I know it's going to come into this level and I'll get a reaction. So I'm fine with that and corrected that. So that's what that sell exit is. And then as it comes up into this level, I enter, and then I'm patient. And then I want you to really pay attention to these exits because this came up in main screen share today. We had a member that entered, beautiful entry right up at highs, and then they didn't pay themselves until here. And most people that run services would just say, "Oh, good job," and "How much did you make on it?" And they would screenshot their P&L and give them a pat on the back. I didn't. In fact, I gave them shit for it because it's not a professional way of trading. What I want you to take a look at is this exit here. That exit is right into this level. You need to constantly be pulling profits and paying yourself at, if you're in short, you pay yourself at support. If you're in long, you need to pay yourself at resistance. So first exit there, right at this level, as it washes into this next support level right here, which was kind of pre-market in that opening range. You're going to see me strip out all of my size because I was just given a gift. And I know that another entry will come. And I've talked about this a lot on the channel. When we slice through that resistance, what happens? It comes up and it'll bump its head. That is that entry right there. I can apply some pressure, get some more size in, and then simply pay myself here and then continue on. And that's exactly what I did. Enter, pay myself into here, and continue on. So really nice trade, locking in $4,255 on that. So overall, pretty substantial day on some very clean trades. Now, there's a lot of lessons in tonight's video. There's a lot of lessons in properly paying yourself. There's a lot of lessons in discipline, and there's a lot of lessons in just allowing the opportunities to come to you. What I would suggest for you guys, hey, look, like, so when I first started trading, there was only bullshit day trading education out there. Like, I'm talking guys like fucking Tim Sykes, Cameron fucking Foose, Jason Bond, like garbage, like trash, shit that it legitimately does not work. And if you are in one of those services and you're going to argue with me, you don't know what the fuck you're talking about. It's trash. It's legitimate trash. And it's not because I don't like these people or this or that. It's because their strategies, they don't work consistently over time. They'll work in very specific markets, and that's it. So I don't want to hear it. So when I was starting, I had nothing. There was nothing out there, nothing that I could find, anyways. Right. And nowadays, it's almost the opposite. Like now there's a lot of information, but there's a lot of shit you got to sift through, like a lot. There's a lot of trash out there. So when you come across a channel like this of a proven professional that's been doing this for over a decade, nobody's saying that you can't rewatch these videos. These trade dissections and trade recaps that I provide for you guys every day, There's a lot of really good information that I would have literally fucking killed for as a struggling trader. So don't be afraid to rewatch these videos, but you do have to like and you do have to subscribe. I think that is only fair. And if you do want to come learn and get trained by a coach, that's somebody that takes this very serious, I take my job extremely serious when it comes to coaching, come to tricktrades.com. And if not, you want to continue to enjoy the free stuff and you think you're going to make it on your own, by all means, give her bullets, man. Give her shit. But it does take a very rare and special individual in order to do that. So I hope you are that one. Just remember, it's just going to take you a whole fuckload of a lot longer to do so. But that's up to you. Come to tricktrades.com. If not, I'll see you here tomorrow. Adios.